Hello everyone, welcome to our channel Code with Sunny, and in this video I am going to talk about the hard problem of the lead code, and the index number is 630 and the problem name is code schedule third. Okay, so before proceeding further to about this problem, I just want to recommend that you must solve code schedule problem first and code schedule problem second, then come to this problem to have a brief idea what is this series of pattern of problems is going to be about. Okay, so there are n different online courses numbered from 1 to n, and we have been given an array of courses, and courses of I is going to denote a vector also, and its size is going to be fixed, and the first element is going to denote the duration of the course that we have to take, and the second element is going to denote the ending date, that is the utmost date that we need to complete the particular course if I am going to take the course. That is okay. So course should be taken continuously for the duration and must be finished before on the last day. That is the parameter second element. And we can start on the first day, and we cannot take two or more courses simultaneously. And we have to return the maximum number of courses that we can take. Okay. So what should be the best way to solve this problem? We can solve this problem with the help of greedy approach, but when you are solving or implementing this problem with the help of greedy approach, I think there must be one case that you are going to be missed, and the same case that I have missed also too while implementing this one. So let us be more specific, and I will tell you the entire scenario what will happen while solving this problem. Okay, so for now let's look over the constraints. Courses of length is going to vary at most 10 power 4, and duration of I in last day of I is going to be like 10 power 4. Okay, the constraints might be helpful. Okay, why this will be helpful? You can see 10 power 4, we cannot have a O of n square solution, it will give us a TLE verdict, so we can think for O of n or O of n log n solution. Okay, so let's try to understand this problem with the help of example, and we will together find it out what should be the best solution of this problem. Okay, so let's move further. Okay, so here you can see I have taken one example, that is this array of denoting the courses, their duration and the last day to be finished if I'm going to take a particular course. Okay, you can see in this array or in this vector, 2D vector of size and into 2, we can, what is the maximum number of courses that I can take starting from the very first day. Okay, you can easily see if I'm going to take this course, the course duration is the 100 days, so I can finish this course on the 100th, that is the 100th day, and you can see the ending date is 200. 100 is going to be like less than equal to 200. Yes, it is valid, so I can take this course. If I'm going to take this course, after completion of this course my ending time is 100. Okay, so this I need to keep track of this number. Okay, now you can see if the ending time is 100, let's try to take more courses after that. If I am going to take this course, 200 is the duration of this day, that is 200 days the duration of this course, and the ending date is 1300. Okay, let's try to understand if I can take this course or not. Okay, so my ending date is 100, so last finished course time is 100th day, so what is the current duration of this day is 200. And can this amount 100 plus 200 is going to be like less than 1300? Yes, it is less than 1300. So I can take this course. If I can take this course, what is the new, that is the new day that which I can finish this course also? You can easily see 100 plus 200 should be like 300. Okay, so it means that after completion of two courses, my ending day would be like 300, and it is obviously less than 1300. I can also complete this course. Now let's talk about can we complete more courses or not. Okay, so if I can complete this course or not, this course has duration of 1000 days, so if we try to add this 1000, okay, so can it be like less than equal to 1250? No, it is not less than equal to 1250. I cannot take this course. So if I will take this course, it will exceed the ending time. Ending time should be 1250, but ending time here it is coming out to be 1300. So I cannot take this course. So let's try to take another course. That is the last course. Can I take this course? Can I take this course? Yes, I can take this course. Let's try to understand that. If I will add 200, 2000, which is the duration of this course that should be completed, is going to be like less than 3200. Yes, 2300 is less than 3200. Yes, I can take this course. So what is the maximum number of courses that I can take starting from the very first day, and every course should be completed before its ending date? You can easily see as our answer in this case is coming out to be 3. Okay, so this is the basic dry run of the understanding of this problem. Let's move further to find out what should be the approach to solve this problem in the best possible way. Okay, so I'm talking about my approach. So the very first point that I'm going to write is sort the courses Okay, sort the courses. Let the courses is going to be denoted by capital C on the basis of descending order. Okay, descending is not good. On the basis of is ascending order, let me write down as upward arrow. That is on the basis of increasing order of, you can say, finishing day. Okay, so okay, finishing day, finish day. So I'm going to sort this entire courses on the basis of the finish date time. That is, you can see on the basis of this 200, 1300, 1250, and 3200. So the course which has smaller, or you can say lesser value of this finish day, it should be placed first. Okay, the reason behind this is quite simple. You can see I have some courses like ending days 7, ending days 3, ending days 4, or ending days like 2. I need to talk about this course second, whose ending date is going to be like smaller, the smallest one first, then followed by second smallest, that is 3. The reason behind is very simple. You can easily see there might be some reason that if I will try to talk about this course first, and if I'm talking about this course first, these courses are going to be skipped, and there might be chances that I can cover up these courses and then come up to cover up this course, that is the last one. Then number, we have to maximize the number of courses, so we can get the maximum ones by completion of these 3 courses, then come to this course. If I will try to cover up the courses starting from this maximum, I can cover up the only one course. Okay, so the reason is quite simple. Sort the given vector of courses on the basis of finish day. That is the value which is going to be like small h should be kept first. The course should be kept first whose finish day is going to be very smallest one. Okay, so what should be my second step? Okay, I'm going to talk about this second step. That is going to be like greedy. That is, I'm going to do one thing. Start from the day first. Okay, start, I'm going to change the color one. Okay. Start from the day first and try to add the duration. That is, initially you can see I have the duration of okay, so this is greedy. Initially I have the duration of 0. None of the course is going to be added. I will try to add the very course, that is after sorting step is done. If I will try to add the very first course having duration d1, and if this is done, if this is going to be like less than equal to this ending date, let's say ending date of d1, if this is going to be less than, I can just simply store this that is, I can just simply take this course. If I can take this course, my answer would be incremented by 1. Okay, so my answer is incremented by 1. It means that my ending time will be modified, and ending time will be modified by this duration 1. So I will also keep a track of this sum variable. Okay, that is the current total duration of courses that I have done. So my sum will be initialized with incremented by this value d1. And since it is less than even, I can take this. And let's talk about some another courses. Okay, if I'm talking about some next course, my sum would be like this one. That is the current ending duration. After completion of this course, my ending time is 100. And if I'm going to check for another course, I will check like 100 plus 200 should be less than equal to 1300. This is the way that I will be doing. Okay, so in this case I will check like sum plus my next duration would be like d2 should be less than equal to this e2, and if this is done I can take this course, otherwise I will skip this course. Okay, so this is the basic way that I'm going to do for each and every courses in this sorted order on the basis of the finishing days. Okay, so the if it will give you the passing test case, like it will pass your many of the test cases, but I think 80 by 97 it is around. But this approach is going to be optimal or not? That is, I'm talking about if I will try to, that is, if at a certain instant sum plus d2, or you can say sum plus di, is going to be like strictly greater than the particular ith ending day, then what will happen? Can I skip this course only or some another course? That is, it is obvious that I should not include this course. That is, my current iteration is not going to be useful. So can I skip this course or some other course? And this is going to be like very much typical point of this question. Okay, so I will just explain in the detailed manner with the help of example. Okay, so let's try to understand that. Okay, so suppose we have been given this one, that is the array of courses where the first element is going to denote the duration and the second element is going to denote the finishing day for a particular course. Okay, so the very first step to sort the array on the basis of finishing times. You can see I will have this the 1 comma 2 pair as the first one, and the second pair would be like 5,7, and the last pair would be like okay 3,8. Okay, so I need to find the maximum number of courses that I can take starting from the first day. Okay, you can see I have the sum variable initialized as 0, and I need to take the maximum courses. So can I take this course? So let us check sum plus 1. It is going to be like sum plus 1. If it is going to be less than equal to 2, then I can take this course. Yes, it is going to be like less than equal to 2. I can take this course. Okay, so let me mark it down by this one. Okay, so this course is going to be like taken. Okay, so my sum would be initialized by some another value, and what is that value? It is value is going to be like incremented by this duration. So my sum would become 1. So okay, now let's try to talk about this course. Can I take this course? So let us check it out. Sum plus this duration is 5 is going to be like less than equal to 7. You can see sum is 1, and 1 plus 5 6, 6 is going to be like less than equal to 7. Yes, I can take this course. So let's try to mark this up also. So yes, I can take this course. So what is the new modified value of this sum? You can see I have the sum as modified to be like 1 plus 5 is exactly equal to 6. Okay, now let's try to talk what can I take this course or not. So let's try to understand that. So I will change the color, and it should be like 6 plus the value of duration is 3 is less than equal to 8 or not. No, it is not less than equal to 8. Okay, so it is not less than equal to 8. So I am going to just not to take this course. Okay, now my last ending time is coming out to be 6. You can easily see. So if I want to just skip this course, so if I can skip this course, skipping this course is going to be optimal, or already taken previous course is going to be optimal. So I want to skip this course. I just try to figure it out. Can I minimize this sum? So if I try to minimize this sum, so for in future, if some courses is going to be like incoming courses, so if this sum is going to be minimum, then sum plus incoming duration of this course is going to be like less than the particular ending time. You can easily see if I try to minimize this sum, then it has the more number of chances that for any further incoming courses is going to be accepted. So if I am trying to just skipping this course, I am trying to just check does this course skipping is going to be optimal or not. So or I will try to just skip some another taken courses. Okay. So for now, let's try to understand this one in very detail. Okay. So you can easily see I'm not trying to just skip this course. I will take this course and I will try to skip any one of this course. That is either try to skip this course or try to skip this course. Okay. So you can easily see if I will try to skip this course and I will take this course and this course. After taking this course, my sum would become 5, and after taking this course also, my sum would become 8. 5 plus 3, 8. So you can easily see some would be going to like increase. So for any incoming courses, there might be some chances that due to this increased sum, I cannot take a particular course. Okay, so let's try to take some another courses like if I have taken this 5,7, 3,8. Okay, so I'm going to take this course and this course, and I'm going to skip this course 5,7. Okay, so if I will take this course 1,2, my sum would be incremented by 1, and then I will take this 3,8, then my sum would be like 1 plus 3, it should be like 4. So you can see I am getting the sum as 4, and which is going to be like less than the sum 6 also, and less than the sum 8 that I have taken for the previous one. So this is going to be optimal. So for taking these three courses, it is obvious that I should have to skip one course. So skipping this 3,8 course is not going to be optimal. So skipping 5,7 is going to be optimal because it will give the minimum sum. Then at any step for incoming courses, sum plus this incoming duration, let's say di, is going to be like less than is equal to ei, is going to be more optimal than for an increased sum. So I am just trying to minimize this sum for a particular ith iteration. Okay, so this can be easily done. Okay, so let's try to talk about the approach for implementation of this one. Okay, so the basic way to implement this is like suppose I have taken this course, so my duration 1 is already taken, and if I have taken this course also, my duration 5 is already taken, and if I am trying to take this course, So this course cannot be taken. That is for first three courses. I should have to skip one course. So try to remove that course which has maximum duration. So if I will try to remove that course which has maximum duration among the first three ones, you can easily see the maximum duration is like for 5, and this is optimal. If I try to remove this maximum duration, my sum will be decreased by a larger amount. Okay, so my this sum for a particular step at this iteration, ith iteration, is going to be like minimum. And as I've already said, sum is coming out to be 4. Why? By trying to skip this 5. Okay, that by trying to skip this one of the courses. Okay, so this can be easily done, or you can in C++ you can use a multiset, because there might be some case like we have some same matching elements rather than distinct elements. You can use the multiset in using a comparator greater int, or you can also use the priority queue to store the durations. Sum plus this duration is going to be like strictly greater than the ending time. Just try to remove that one. That is, just try to remove that duration which has been already taken. That is the maximum duration. That is from the q dot top. Okay. Okay. So let's try to understand this in more detail in the coding part also. Okay, so as I've already submitted the code, that is this code. Okay, so I'm just talking about this. You can see all the test cases passed of code schedule third problem, and runtime beats are 79% of CPP submissions. And this is the basic, you can say the use of priority queue. And another submission that I have submitted, this was for, you can see the use the help of multiset. As you can see, I have already many wrong answer first because of this condition, very tricky problem to maintain the maximum durations, for to remove the maximum duration to minimize this sum at a particular ith iteration. Okay, so you can see I'm just talking about this priority queue approach. You can see first I'm going to sort this on the basis of last day to finish, and this is going to be done with the help of comparator. In C++ you can write the comparator like this, and it is going to be like operator that is going to sort on the basis of this condition. Okay, you can easily say I'm sorting on the basis of the smallest ones, that is which are smallest finish times. Okay, so courses duration that are going to be taken. So just iterate for the courses. Try to take this course, that is current duration is this one, and finish time is going to be like courses of I of second one. Okay, so try to take this course. Total duration is going to be like total duration already maintained plus this current duration, and try to push this current duration in the priority queue. Okay, so if at a certain time we have found that total duration is going to be like greater than finish time, I cannot take this course. So I am just trying to remove that course which has maximum duration, and the reason is already simple, as I have already discussed, that I want to minimize this sum. So if I want to minimize this sum, I need to minimize this total duration. Okay, for future incoming courses, so it has the more probability for getting accepted. Okay, so just I have just I have decremented this total duration by the maximum duration taken from this priority queue, and just I have popped out the element. Okay, and finally you can see after iterating over all the courses, my answer would be like return q dot size. Total all the courses that whose duration is pushed into the priority queue, and its size is going to be like our answers. Okay, and in the multi-set approach you can easily see nothing has much change. I just use the multi-set with the comparator, and there are frequent changes like q dot insert and q dot begin star, q dot begin, and q dot erase, and finally q dot size. Okay, so if you have any doubts, do let me know in the comment section of the video, and I will ask the viewers to like this video, share this video, and do subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also join our Telegram channel mentioned in the description section of the video, and thank you for watching this video.